Hi. Okay, so this pick a card, or actually we're going to be picking a shell, is going to be, um, we're asking Spirit, is there something it would be helpful to understand right now? Is there something that would be helpful to understand right now? So the point is to just clear up any misunderstandings, because that is what healing really is. Healing is just clearing up a misunderstanding. So you can kind of look at it from any different angle, but I'm trying to use this higher view to present it as, is there something that we could understand more about our current situation that would help us, from this spirit view, this higher view. And I'm actually venturing out with some training wheels on. I'm going to use some training wheels today, but I've been doing a different kind of divination using shells. And so I'm going to do this reading using my shells, but I'm also going to pull a few astrology, oracle, and I might use another deck that I have if I feel like it's appropriate as I go. So I'm going to be reading the shells. So it's going to be, basically channeling. I'm going to use my channel. And then the astrology will help us decide if how good my channel is. And because we certainly can't go by likes. Just kidding. Um, I am also going to record from this other view of my table, where I'm actually displaying the shells and where I'm going to cast the shells. So I'm going to record from both angles and just see which I prefer, because I'm not sure what this is going to look like. Is it meaningful for you to see my process, or do you just need to hear what I'm saying as you look at the shells yourself? I want to see which is better for me and for you. So you can let me know, give me any feedback if you see both versions of the video. Feel free to like which one you prefer. Okay? Okay, so let me just press record on this other, do a quick intro, and then we'll go, okay? So thank you for your patience. Okay, this pick a card is for, it's actually a pick a shell, but it's for, are there anything that you should understand or that would be helpful to understand in your situation right now? Is there anything that would be helpful to understand in your situation right now? And we've got pick one, pick two, and pick three. So we want to take a deep breath and relax and use our own intuition to decide if one of these has a message for us, okay? And remember, this is a general reading, so this reading will pull in something valuable for each person who watches. So it may be that you resonate with all the things on a certain pick. You might be drawn to more than one pile, and you might just have, a couple things out of each pile that are pertinent to you, because we are a collective of people experiencing different things, but a lot of the same experiences. And a lot of the ways Spirit gives messages to me is in a general sense. So it's like a universal kind of advice and knowledge that kind of comes through Spirit's view. Okay? And of course, it is always put through my own interpretations. These are interpretations that I can make through my own experiences. So I'm limited by that, but it's also the reason why I was given a mind that wants to learn, that can retain some things and can recall when needed, because there's a wide variety of people that I'd like to be able to relate a message to. Okay? So once you've decided, we will get started. I'm actually recording on two cameras. I've already introduced myself to one camera, and so just letting the other camera know I'm going to post these both, and just put a like on whichever version you prefer. Okay? So we're going to start with pick one. Pick one. Okay, pick one. Okay, the first thing we're asking Spirit is, first, what is the situation you're in? So we're going to preface by saying, like, if we're going to need to understand something first, we're going to need to understand what we're going to talk about. So what's the situation you're in? Okay. Okay. I'm just letting it impress upon me as I get ready to explain. Maybe you feel like you have to rev up to get this pile of stuff in front of you done. There's so much stuff. It's piled. It's like you got a lot to do. And there's part of you that does not even want to deal with it, that just would just like to leave all that mess behind. And because you can see what you're headed for. You can see the pearl waiting for you. You can see that the entrance to get the pearl, it feels far from you. But this little part of you just wants to leave everything, that pile of stuff that's broken. You don't find much use in it anymore. And you feel like you're just this little thing, you're this little piece. But you've been like buffed out. And so, you know, the edges are smooth on you, you know. It's like you may just be a portion of what you knew yourself to be. And with that part, that's like your true essence. And it's like eye on the prize and wants to head towards the pearl. So pearls can be pearls of wisdom, pearls can be the lesson in a tough situation, right? Because a pearl is like, you know, formed when a piece of sand is bothersome or whatever, right? So like the sandpaper, like you're trying to get to the point of it all, but the point seems to just kind of blend in and go towards the pearl. Okay, Spirit. What what needs to be understood about this situation? I'm gonna add some. What needs to be understood about this situation? But what will be helpful to understand about this situation? I'm gonna consciously work through my own issue of speaking more. I'm gonna try to be training myself to speak less masculine and more feminine. And so when you see me correct myself, that's what I'm doing, and that's just my process, right? I have set myself a standard, and as I, you know, if I forget and go back to my old way, I'm just going to redirect myself, and you may witness that. But that's what I'm doing, and I have no shame in my game. Okay. Like it, understand. What do you need to understand? There's a boat, but there's a boat. It's like you missed the boat. Hold on, we're not stopping there, okay? They'll have advice too. You're not headed towards the pearl, even though that's where you want to go. What you need to understand is the path that you're on, the trajectory you have set your course on. Like maybe you think you have to get back to the boat, right? Because you missed the boat, but you don't. Because if you go towards the boat now, you miss it. Like your trajectory, the one that like you're trying to get back on, that path that you were on, that got you to, that you feel like you missed the boat to get to the pearl. Actually, that path is not there anymore. That boat is sailed. Don't worry, it's not. It's like no one else is in that boat. Don't worry. That boat's just empty. It was only your boat, but now it's not useful to you because it's floated off. It's not in that direction anymore. So what you want to understand is what you're headed for is a mirage. If you want the pearl, you need more clarity because the first stop you're going to make is going to get to a place where it looks really right? It looks like it was welcoming, like this is where I want to be, this is solid ground. But once you step on there, you're going to realize it's not solid and it was an illusion. But it will still have you closer to the pearl. So there's a decision you're making to go towards something that looks glittery and shiny, but is actually a mirage, or to go back and past the boat. Towards the boat gets you further away from the pearl. Towards the mirage is a mirage, but it gets you closer to the pearl. But it's rocky, it's not easy, it's wobbly, and you're going to have to get to the edge of it and jump. Yeah, beyond the mirage, what you think you see beyond the mirage is a huge thing that you think looks very stable and comfortable also. But it's actually just another version of what was in your pile that you were leaving behind. So still go towards it, but just the thing that you want to understand is you're going towards it because the pearl is the wisdom. The pearl wants you to learn. The pearl knows, like, it's the pearl, right? So you're taking the path to get to the pearl. It's not an easy path. It feels like, rocky. It feels like there's some sand under your feet and in your way, and in your mouth, and but if you just follow that path, if you just keep going. Don't get off the path of the sand under the feet, because that's when you'll get lost. When the sand, like, and we're talking about a sand that is grinding, away, the sand that it's irritating, and it's forming a pearl. So as you go through these challenges, these sandy challenges of the sand, irritating you, you are actually exactly giving yourself the thing you will need by the time you get to the end of that path, where you're going to need to take a leap of faith, a leap. You're going to have to jump to that pearl. But you can do it. And even when you jump there, it's going to feel very wobbly, and it may seem like you have rocked the boat, but it won't. It will settle down, okay? So it might still be some more sand in there getting to the pearl, okay? But it's okay. The pearl is there. The pearl is solid. That pearl does not come out. I'll show you guys the pearl. And you see the sand on the path to it. You know, that pearl is there. And to be worthy of the pearl, you have to have traversed your sand too, right? By the time you get to this pearl, you will be a pearl. You will be a pearl. You're taking the path of becoming worthy of the pearl. And that means that even when you take that leap of faith and it gets a little unstable and rocky, that you wait, you let it settle, and then you keep walking over that sand, and you're well traversed in it by now. And you know, you have faith, and it's not a mirage. It's solid, it's there. And once you join that pearl, like, you guys are solid, right? Like, this pearl, this wisdom, this, whatever the pearl represents for you, it's, you next to it makes it more solid. You next to it makes it more stable. It's just less wobbly with that offsetted weight. Okay. Alright, let's see if... Spirit, are we on the right track here? Let's talk about the experience the person is having. Metis is wisdom, first house, it's yourself, 0 degree is a pioneer. Okay, so you're leaving behind this big pile of the past, pioneering in the pursuit of wisdom. Exactly what we just said. The square is representing the challenge. It's not a direct path. It's through the muck, it's through the sand, it's through the adversity. And the outcome? The outcome is a conjunction, which is, when we look at astrology, a conjunction is 2 bodies joining. And a biquintal, which is a gift. So when you encounter a certain energy from your chart, there's a gift there from another lifetime you've brought forth, so you get your gift. And then Proserpina, which is a version of Persephone myth. But it's kind of like you get to look into... maybe it's like Persephone coming out of Hades with her gift. Like, now she knows more, right? Something in my gut feels a little ouchy when I say this. Flora, it's okay. A fresh way of being. Oh, yes, because when Persephone comes out of Hades, that's when we get spring. That's when we get fresh growth. So this joining, this conjunction, and this gift allows everybody to flourish, not just Persephone. Everybody flourishes when Ceres comes out of the winter. Everybody flourishes. Ceres being the mother of Persephone, who is the one who is said to be in charge of our fields and our nature and our growing season. But Flora, this is like fresh growth. This is something new because you're a pioneer, because you're doing this a way that nobody's done it before. You're going the hard way. You're going the hard way and cleaning some stuff up that needed to be cleaned up. You are a very brave soul. Oh. Okay. Okay. I want to ask, is there any advice? But I feel like that's not what this reading's for. So if you do have if you do need some advice, you can check out my website. I am offering some things. Hebe, be in service. Be in service. That is what the advice would be. Be in service. I'm just gonna grab this deck. Oh, yeah. This is what we got. The flora. Oh, look what's on the back. The ermine has a little place in my heart because of a certain story that I'm probably not going to tell right now, but if you keep watching my readings, I will tell it next time that card comes out, okay? Oh, look, the ivy came out. I've got an ivy plant now I just got. So all this growth, and I've just dropped a bunch. So let me just pick those up. Oh, goodness. We've got a rabbit family. Rabbits happen to be my familiar. We've got pipes. You know, these could be relevant to you in some way, I don't know. Oh, it's sad puppy. The marketplace selling produce in a location I'm not aware of. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you guys. Look at, wait till you see this. So it's sand, right? And it's a path and it's rocky. The cannolis. Italy. Reminds me of Italy. Now we got tamales. Now we got crawfish. Yeah, I think you might be doing some traveling. Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, being illuminated. You're just shining a light on something. And really it's just shining in the cycle, shining every step of the way. Like every step of the way you shine in, right? There's a star at every step. Oh my goodness, this has to be my pile. Maybe making music along the way. Maybe seeing music, maybe traveling, something like that. Okay, well, okay. I'm going to have to watch that later for myself and process it some more, but for now, let's go on to pile number 2. You guys, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope it's helpful in some way, okay? Like that shell that you chose, you know, if you're still here, pile 1. That was like, it's spiny, it just had a little bit of breakage, but it's really solid, you know? You got this. You probably know that. That's not why you came, right? Okay. Pick number 2. Pick number 2. The mussel shell. Okay, mussel shell, guys. Okay. So the first thing we're asking is, what is the experience that we're going to look at the understanding of, okay? What is the experience? I don't know why, but I just got the vision of having to deal with dog fur, dog hair. If you hear, like, dog is shedding. Okay, so one thing, okay. Hmm. Okay, the experience you're having is I feel like a lot of people are trying to dump their shit on you. Because you're showing them a very happy, content face. You look very much well kept, put together. For this camera, can't really see that first shell, but you can see if I tip this up, there's a lot of sand right here. That's what I'm referring to. And I know this other camera is not looking at that. I'm recording too, as you probably know if you watched my intro. If not, the reason is I'm just trying to decide which I like better, and please like which video you prefer if you have a preference. Okay, so people are kind of putting their stuff on you, right? And it's because you have like a mask on that looks very happy, content, and put together. Okay, if we look under the mask, it's like you don't want people to see your dirt, and there's some sort of what is that? It's a hole in the shell. It's like a portal. It's a you're covering a damaged part of yourself with a mask that looks pretty damn near perfect. Might have a chip. Might have a chipped front tooth, but other than that, holding it together pretty well. And that's only the exterior. Underneath, you've been worn down. You've been doing this a while. You've been knocked around, chipped away at, not taken care of very well. You feel a little dirty, like you think you're, like I think you think you're dirty. But the same kind of stuff that was on this shell was the same stuff that I was shown, like the dog fur from the other shell. And like, it's not actually dog fur, but it just, you know, that's what came to me. And so what I'm realizing is it's showing me that the dirt that you think you're covering up is just like a shedding. It's like the dog fur when it sheds. It's like you wouldn't like make the dog wear a coat over his coat if it was shedding, right? You would let him shed. You might get him a brushing, like bring him to the groomers, help him out, you know? And it would be okay for you to put a coat on him if you had to, if there was too much, like if, you know, you have that right. It's not wrong for you to protect yourself however you protect yourself, but this is the situation that Spirit's kind of telling us, that you have a lot of people dumping on you. It's because they think you're okay, but you don't want to, you know, why would you expose your weakened state anyway, okay? So you're just coping. But it is a situation where what you're doing to cope is just covering up something that may just need to shed, right? And then by covering it up, you are stuck. And you do feel like your back's against the wall, though. You don't feel like there's a lot of wiggle room to take this mask off, because right behind you is like everything that's ever backed you up. And you've separated yourself from this dirty thing. The thing that you feel shame or guilt over. You have separated yourself from it, and it's like it's like there's something separating you and that thing now. And there's even things that back that thing. Like there's a bunch of big, immovable, or seemingly immovable forces that are actually a lot less stable than your mask. The things backing you are not even as solid as the thing you have protecting you that your own self is using. So it might be like it's baggage still. You haven't... Okay, so there's baggage. Okay, because you had decided that you needed those things to back you up, to get you away from that dirty thing, or that shameful thing, or that thing you're guilty about. Like, you let that be a separation between you, that dirt, and the you, right? But that didn't solve it, because you never integrated it. You tried to cover up the dirt instead of integrating, instead of owning it, instead of shedding it, instead of being with it, accepting it about yourself, and loving that part of yourself, accepting even if you don't agree with, accept is how we create balance. But it's like you kept yourself in the stronghold, so you can't really move, because in front of you all these people are putting their shit on you, and behind you is this backing that's not even really needed anymore, because you're totally fine without it. Like, you are more stable in yourself in this mask than this whole thing that's backing you. So that's very interesting. Okay, now let's ask what... Maybe that was the thing you need to understand, but let's see if there's anything else that needs to be... That's the situation. What needs to be understood? Okay. What needs to be understood is... Wow, so beautiful. I feel such emotion coming through me when I read this, so it's just so beautiful. Okay, so what shows is that in between the thing that's backing you and the thing in front of you that's kind of putting its stuff on you, there's a way out. It's kind of alongside a structure that will temper the things and the parts of life that are putting their crap on you. It's not your crap. You got your own dirt, which is much lighter than theirs, by the way. It's your dirt. You know how to deal with it, right? Your medicine is built in with the poison, so you're most best equipped to solve it. But when you gotta, it's like the out, what you need to understand is the place to get free of that is in between. And so creating balance between those two things gives you a boat to these other things, and like the other shells that are in the middle ground, that if you find balance and get escaped from this juggernaut situation, those shells are beautiful. They're vulnerable to you. They're exposed. They don't care. They're not covering anything up, and they have no dirt. They have no dirt. These are the ones that you can go towards. These are the shells you go towards. These are the ones you're leaving behind. This is in front of you, and this is behind you. So whatever you have to do to create the balance to get you free of these two things, there's got to be a middle ground, right? It's not all true. It can't be all true that you need to take their shit and have them to back you. But it does look like there's something that could help you temper these people that are putting their stuff on you. Like, there's some big thing out of an old structure, an old structure that's worn but in place and pretty solid, and it could somehow help you. So there's something there. I don't know what that is. A law, a rule, someone else, a wall. Oh, it could be a wall. You make yourself a wall or you make them a distraction. You give them somewhere else to put it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so this other thing, when that other thing is given to them and they start putting their shit on that instead, that's when you get to sneak out. But you won't fit with your mask. Oh shit, you won't fit with your mask. So you need to understand that when you get a chance to sneak out, take your mask off. Because that's how you get free. And then you go catch this little boat, which is whatever. It could be your faith bringing you towards a new start and new opportunity. And like, see, these other shells, it was a mask when it was covering the weakness, but these ones are exposed. They're not hiding anything. You're going towards authenticity. So you don't need your mask where you're going. You and these shells aren't sad that you have dirt. No. Oh, authenticity. You're just like welcomed in through the authenticity. There's this other boat off in the distance. What's that about? Okay. When you initially go for this other thing that's going to distract the things that are putting their shit on you, it looks like there's a nice big boat behind that looks appealing, right? You maybe are pushed in that direction to implement that thing, thinking you're going for something else, but in actuality, that thing that you think you're going for is actually not. It's an illusion put there on purpose to get you going in that direction. So it will help you to understand that some things that you were shown as options were put there to entice you into a certain direction, which would inadvertently free you because you didn't free yourself, or you didn't know how. You maybe asked the question, to be helped or whatever. If we ask, we will receive. Okay. Okay. So let's ask the oracle, the astrology oracle, if we're on track here. Spirit, please tell us the nature of the experience this person's having. Mercury. Okay. Communication, intellect. We get Scorpio, Osiris, Sirius. Communicating about needs, unconditional love, collecting the lost parts of self, and doing it like a Scorpio. Well, I've got to admit, Spirit, I don't know. Communicate unconditionally, lovingly, to collect pieces. Communicate with a Scorpio. Okay, need some more. What you were hiding was something in the emotions. The obstacle has to do with your home. The opposition is like, yeah, no matter which way you were, there was opposition. You were basically drowning in devil energy, and it was only because you had lost the parts of yourself. And they would they will return as soon as you unconditionally love them, which might just take talking to them, talking to your emotional body. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's how you get balanced out in the decisions that you have to make. You're gonna experience sunrise. It's a new day. It's a new way, and yeah, you get to join with people of like mind on Earth. Okay, and more about the thing that should be understood, Taurus, that love. That love is the most solid thing there is. Love is something you can build on. Love is what you're going towards. You know, these shells are love. They're pure. They're innocent. New moon, 8th house, and Sagittarius. You're taking all that dark stuff that you learned from being in the situation you were in, and you're taking it to a higher meaning, and you're looking at it a new way. You're just looking at God's view through the lens of love. You're loving all the little parts of yourself that wanted to do those things, that wanted to be those roles, that wanted to please those people and take those people's shit and have those people backing you. You're just loving all those little parts and like taking them back in you. And it's probably going to cause you to move or change something about your home. Yeah, something about your living at home and like the core and your foundation. Your foundation is not yet certain. Not yet certain. This is a process you're going through. It's like you have to break apart a foundation first by kind of digging under the surface of it, right? Because you have to go with your under the surface stuff. You're going with the subconscious, the Scorpio. You're not bringing your mask with you. Okay? Okay. We got silverware, so it's like, what tools do you have? What tools do you need to accomplish this? You know, assess it. Like, actually, that silverware, it looks like a lot of silverware. Do you need that much silverware? You know, like, how many tools do you need? Like, maybe you have taken a lot of knowledge on from other people, and now it's like too much and it's not serving you. And so one thing that I know I've learned, and that Spirit's reminding me of now, is to act from my wisdom, not my knowledge. So if I act from my wisdom, then I know I'm acting on my own lessons, the ones that I was meant to learn, and then the ones I was meant to learn are the ones that are supposed to get me to where I'm going, right? Sometimes we learn our own lessons by looking at somebody else who's learning them, and the reason why we learn it is because it resonates with us, because we go, oh, you know? So we got number 200. It's on a door. It says pull. So those numbers, 200 or 20 or 00 or 2, could be relevant, but oh, this is a new door opening for you. Yeah. It's like a mountain. you thought like this is a mountain you could not traverse. Yeah. It's like light has been shown on a situation and now you're ready to deal with it on a different level. Got the letter M. Oh. I don't. I like dogs, but I don't have a dog or anything. I think they're cute. I think I was gonna say cute humans. I think they're cute beings. So there's two dogs there, you know, and it kind of makes me think of these two pure shells, just awaiting your arrival. They're eager. Look how eager those dogs are. They're expectantly waiting. And they don't care about the dirt. Okay, so here's a house, and it's got like a little white picket fence. Not just palm trees, but all kinds of trees. So we talked about changing homes. And there's trees from like all different kinds of regions, it seems like, in this photo, so it's interesting. It's like a lot of different types of greenery. Just gonna get one or two more here. Okay. It's like, no, we want this side. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. I love when Spirit does this to me. There's the boat. You see there's two boats, and we did talk about two boats and how one's the one that's going to attract you and one's the one that's going to get you there. And then we got some motorbikes. And some dudes just like hanging out or working or playing pool. Yeah, they're just hanging out. And then we have the birdhouse. So more about a house. Maybe it's a tiny house you're going to live in. Oh wow. If you look at this foliage, it's like steps in there. There's steps. It's like now the mountain has steps. Now the door has opened and there are steps. Sorry about the darkness. There are steps in that mountain. They were hidden. I don't know if this is a sunset or a sunrise. How do I tell? Sunrise, sunrise, felt like morning in your eyes. Sunrise, sunrise, felt like morning in your eyes. Here's a mountain and a tree. Oh, the balloons. The balloons is like reaching higher, celebrating, higher view. Here's two deer. One of these deer has their eye on you and the other one's just grazing, but they have already traversed the mountain. It's like those two shells, the purity. Deer are pure. The two shells waiting for you. One's paying attention, one isn't. I don't know why. Oh, and it all comes through the waterfall. Look, this mountain requires water to be shed, right? Like it's said, dealing with your emotions. When we had water come out. So there's definitely some emotional stuff that'll be probably, shed on the boat ride, right? Like the boat might be a representation of floating with your emotions, and all you really have to do is witness yourself, witness your emotions, accept them. It might feel like you're on a narrow path, but that's because that's the spot you're in. There is an out. Follow the sunlight. Okay, guys, wow, beautiful. Well, good for you. I hope that does help in some way, your understanding. I know that you're doing great, and you would make it with or without this reading, but I really am glad that you came and spent this time with me. I enjoy doing this. And if if you have any personal questions for your specific situation, you can check out my website. I've opened up some slots. Oh, as I'm putting these away, I just noticed this. Shells. Sunrise, sunrise, felt like morning in your eyes, but the clock stayed 9:15 4 hours. I don't know the words. And I said, ooh, no. Spare you this. Okay. Just putting away these shells from pick number 2. I'll be right with you. Number 3, if you're still reading with me. Oh, wow, I wish I showed you this. The inside of the mussel, you know, it's just so beautiful and clean. That's what you're chosen, so. Okay. Now we're going to do pick number 3. So this is the broken shell. You chose the broken shell. This is your reading. And we're going to... You can tell I'm getting downloads through this reading, because when I get a lot of downloads, I definitely have to take a nap. Lately. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. The reason I said that is because in this reading, pick number 3, shells from both prior readings came out. I put them back in the bag. They told me when I did that one reading was going to be related to another. And it's actually looking like they're related to both. So all these 3 readings tie into each other. So the first thing we're asking is about what is the experience you're in. So you can decide, you know, maybe you're on one side of this and someone else that you're dealing with is on another side of it, you know, something like that. But I'll explain as we go here, okay? So, oh, you can't see the pearl. Okay, the experience you are having is life seems kind of chaotic right now. You can see that there are some things that don't look so bad, but a lot of the things that you're seeing look really hard and like battered, beaten, and not right. And you do feel like you could escape. You do feel like you could just get out and go. Oh gosh. You don't know you can go. You don't know you can go because it's hidden. Your out is hidden. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. The reason this ties into reading number 1 is because in reading number 1, the person had missed the boat. And if that resonates with you, you can watch that reading. This point in the energy is you haven't missed the boat yet. This person, okay, this energy has not missed the boat yet. This is the point where you missed the boat. If this is what I think they're going to show you, is when you missed the boat, or why you missed the boat. Maybe yeah. Okay, so if you watched number 1, you were like, when was this boat that I missed, and why is it going to be the hard path now? Okay, that's what this is. Okay. Oh, jeez. They want me to know that? They want you to know that. I don't know why they would want us to know that we took the hard path instead of the easy path, but maybe it's so we know we're brave, right? Alright, let me get back to the reading. What I'm seeing is Okay, so my video is going to stop. So what I'm seeing is you missed the boat. I'm going to just go quick for this video and I'll keep going into more detail. So if you don't get enough out of this video, just go to the other one. Okay? But you missed the boat because you couldn't see it, right? See this wall? Your boat's right here, your pearl's right here. You're too busy in the mask. You think the mask is real. That's why you missed the boat. So what is the we're going to go into it more in detail, but I want to finish this up before this runs out of space. What is it that you need to understand? That even if you got on the boat at that time, you would have been cut off from it. The opportunity would have been stolen from you, taken. You had to miss the boat. Yes, that's what they're saying. You had to miss the boat because the character you build on the other journey is what makes you worthy of the pearl. Okay? So, like when you saw, or maybe it's like you didn't see the opportunity for the pearl though. Somehow you didn't see the pearl. The pearl was like propped up, maybe didn't look like it needed you or wanted you or was otherwise occupied. You had a wall. There was a wall between you. Okay, that one's done. Alright, so something that would be helpful to understand is that your boat would have been blocked if you had gotten on it. There was a wall blocking you from the pearl. Everything has happened as it should. And if this were to tie into reading number 2, it would be that the two pure things, the two pure shells that you're headed towards when you sneak out of the tough situation you're in, are with the pearl. The pearl is near them and very close to them, and is maybe like stuck and can't get there either. Like needs something. What would this pearl do? The pearl's propped up very well right here. The pearl has a solid foundation, but the pearl's foundation isn't just like solid ground. It's something's there propping it up. Like, so that wouldn't be stable if there was like a storm or something, you know? The pearl is... So both you couldn't get to the pearl, and the pearl was also propped up on something. Just trying to see why this pearl is propped up on this. Ancient knowledge. And angel wings. The pearl is propped up on ancient knowledge and angel wings. Okay. Maybe the pearl is ancient knowledge and angels. You know? Maybe that's what you're headed towards, but at the time that you missed the boat, you could go towards the pure thing directly, you know, before you got stuck and before you decided to put on a mask to hide yourself. So you became ashamed or guilty about something, and then you tried to hide it, so you didn't go to the pure thing, because you didn't feel worthy, probably, right? And you were blocked from the pearl anyway, the wisdom, but you didn't go towards the pure thing because you're dirt. You hadn't covered your dirt yet. You hadn't experienced what it was to cover your dirt yet. You just wore your dirt. You didn't feel any shame or doubt about your dirt, and then you must have had a reason to. And then you covered your dirt, and then didn't feel very good and stuck, and then you didn't go towards the purity. Okay, so the boat would have been blocked either way. You wouldn't have been able to get there that way, and then the only other way would have been to go through your own guilt and shame, which any human usually tries to cover it up first. It's pretty average and normal, because it's a very dense energy. It doesn't feel good. But now that we know we have to just process it, we use our conscious mind to watch our emotional body process it. We act as if that emotion is a baby child that needs our love, and we just parent it, right? Like, what did we actually need? Not what our parents did to us, but what did we actually need in the moment where we felt dirty and like it wasn't okay for us to go towards the pure thing that we were drawn to. Yeah, we kept ourselves away from something. So of self-worth. Because of self-worth, that's all. Which is fairly common, you know. And there's something else propping up that self-worth issue, right? There's like... It was the other pure shell. You are the other purity. You're going towards yourself. You're coming home to yourself. You are the other purity. The two deer in the last reading, one wasn't paying attention, one was. So it's your purity propping up this dirt, and then the mask. And that jungle gym is the stuff you leave behind. That Jenga tower, I should say. All right, Spirit, is are we on track with this? What is the experience that Pile 3 is having? Oh my goodness. Idea is about cleaning up the dirt. Wow, the experience you're having is you're getting clean. You're purifying. You're collecting all the lost pieces of yourself, dealing with your emotions, joining with somebody else through a conversation. Could be joining with yourself through a conversation you have with your inner child as well. And what is helpful to understand? 4 to 5 months. So this could have been a 4 and 5 month process that you've been going through. Like, say you've been going through this since January and February. You know, that means you're finishing this up. If you're just starting this, say you might be done in September or October, or you could be in the middle of that 4 months. You know, just kind of. This obviously is a reading about a timeline, and we're looking at all different pieces of it, and it okay. And it definitely has to do with another person. How you interact with somebody else is definitely involved here. I did get the feeling that the other person was either the purity or the wisdom. I couldn't really tell, but it could be both. Helpful to understand is Taurus, solid ground. That there is, solid ground even though you're dealing with a lot of water. And that it's new moon, it's a new start, it's a fresh start. There's nothing, like, you did really leave the past behind. You are really leaving the past behind. That dirt is not something you're going to carry forward. You've been, cleaned of it, and it's all divinely guided. Remember, we talked about the pearl being propped up on angel wings. So this whole process has been divinely guided by angels. I have the most chills that I've had out of any reading I've done before. Besides a mediumship reading, I get a lot of chills on those. Wow. Wow, okay. So maybe the other readings will be for people, if you don't, pick number 3, then the other readings are for just people who are not in this for the relationship aspect. But if you chose pick 3, you are. This is about a relationship. This is about a partnership. This is about joining with somebody else. This is about clearing up the things that keep you separated. And taking the invitation to walk the path, which I just felt so strongly that any invitation to walk a path is not taken by you. You would rebel, I feel. So that's interesting. But look, there's a merry-go-round on here. And merry-go-round makes me think of a loop. So if you don't want to go through that, you might get on the merry-go-round and just loop around a while, right? Watch people go, watch people go, watch people go, watch people go. And as you watch people go, there's probably going to come a point where you're going to want to go too, even if it means that you got to take someone's advice. So I'm not telling you what to do, right? Spirit's not telling you what to do. You have free will. This could take 4 or 5 months. This could take 4 or 5 years. You know, it's all up to you. I think that's how it goes, right? Because the loops are just what distract us from going forward. Yeah, you're very independent. So maybe the fact that this has to do with joining with somebody else is the scary part. Yeah. Look at this cat, though. He's there. He's on his own, but look at him. He's next to a river. This is a little river of water. I don't know what that dial is, but maybe it's a sundial? I don't know, but this cat is independent, and he's not looking at the water. He doesn't want to see the water. But it's there, and he may see it ahead, but he doesn't see it in the present moment. Okay. So he's looking ahead to the water and how it's going to be to, like, go on that, and then that does not... Too out of control, right? This cat is in control. Cats don't just jump in fucking water. But this cat's looking ahead, contemplating it, I see. Some more repeats from other readings, which is the silverware. You know, do you have too much stuff, too many tools, too many heavy things weighing you down, too many choices, too many options. Yeah, you have a lot of options. The reading didn't look like you had a lot of options because it looked like if you chose another option, it was going to either lead you right back to the pearl or block you completely. So I would think the options are illusions. You know, Spirit is just reminding you the water is the way. That's what Spirit is saying. But it's not because Spirit's telling you what to do. Spirit wants you to understand. Spirit thinks it would be helpful for you to understand. Oh yeah, because we already got love is the way. Love is the answer. Love is water, right? Love is feeling. Following your love. I mean, the angels want this for you. I mean, who gets angels assigned to them? Past our dead loved ones, you know? It's not like... Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Look at all these boats. Yeah, all these choices. All these choices. How are you going to make the right one? Well, it looks like you're going to be led towards one that's going to look shiny and bright, and because angels know your appetite, and then that's going to take you on a little detour, and you're going to get there. There's one paying attention. Pure ones. You have an angel that has your back, even though you're not looking at where you're going. And that's okay, you know? Like, you're looking someplace, but it's not actually where you're going. It's kind of the sense I get. We've got the mountain. Okay, this is interesting. Who are these guys? I think this is Zelda. The Zelda characters. So these are like weird, freaks, unique, none are the same. They're in their own domain, but again, a lot of choices. So I think the angels are just saying like your emotion and your love is how you get to the pearl. But that the road that you take is part of your experience. That you have free will, and that the road you take cleans you, and that even when you get to that pearl, even when you get to that whatever that the angels are leading you to, there might still be more to do. It's like you're being purified. Yeah. Yes, you are being purified, and it's not because you're bad, dirty, or wrong. You must have asked to be, right? Did you ask to be purified? Is this the answer to your prayers? I kind of sort of think so. Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. You know, this is really fun, and if you have a question, you know, that's more personal, feel free to check out my website. I have some slots available.